Breaking: Comey exposed for treasonous crime against Americans. Lock him up. The deep state has been violating the rights of our fellow Americans for too long. Their crimes are finally starting to come to light. Former FBI Director James Comey is in trouble. According to declassified information, during Comey's tenure, the FBI shared intelligence data gathered through law enforcement surveillance on Americans with third parties. That is an unconstitutional and flagrant abuse of government power, via Circa. Thank goodness Trump fired James Comey. How did Comey not notice this sort of abuse? Our law enforcement should not be selling or sharing our data with private citizens. The deep state should be panicking. We cannot allow our law enforcement agencies to share our private information with third parties. It is already bad enough that companies sell our data to other people, but now, even the government is doing it. This all goes back to Obama. If Obama had held these agencies accountable, we wouldn't have had such an abuse of power, but it is obvious that Obama enjoyed gathering data from innocent Americans. The mainstream media isn't covering this new report. They don't care that Fourth Amendment privacy rights are getting trampled. They would rather report on their conspiracy theories and anti-Trump nonsense. Throne kingdom at war. The biased media has lost all of its credibility. They covered the Manchester attack for about an hour before shifting back to their anti-Trump rhetoric. The media and the radical left hate to acknowledge radical Islam, which is why we are living in this surveillance state. Because of radical Islam, our data is being collected and shared. We wouldn't have such issues with radical Islam if we strengthened our borders and increased our vetting, but the left doesn't want that. The left would rather see more terrorist attacks, which would in turn cause more surveillance. At this point, Americans have just come to accept the fact that our data is constantly being collected and our privacy is constantly being violated. At least Trump is going to fire the deep state and push back against radical Islam. If those two things happen, then the government won't have much of a reason to spy on us anymore. How is it that the radical left isn't worried about their privacy? The left doesn't care about basic human rights. It only cares about those rights when it can use them to its benefit. The deep state knows that the left won't care if they collect our data without the required legal process. James Comey was a snake in the grass. He refused to prosecute Hillary and he shared our private data illegally. Should he be held accountable? Let America know.